Right, today I just parked up here on the edge of this footpath, and we're on the edge of Wilby Warren. Right. Yeah, so I was just looking at, as I do, looking at Faden's map, seeing if I can spot anything interesting close by, and yeah, I thought we'd have a look at Wilby Warren, which is sort of, or was, to this side over here, I believe. I'll put a screen on, a map on screen. Yeah, nice day. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a bank here. I did say when I was looking at the description of a warren, there may well be a bank around the whole of the warren for sort of protection, shall we say, from, although it's not much of a bank. Yeah, so yeah, nice bit of woodland there. Yeah, there's also, once we get up to Wilby itself, I'll just have a look at where there used to be some almshouses, and along the route somewhere there was also a windmill and some barrows, some Bronze Age barrows, which I think are pretty much well, have been pretty much ploughed out. So, but we'll keep an eye out just in case we do notice a little lump in the land. There's a very slow moving hare over there in them woods, just behind that shrub. Let's see if we can get him. Oh, there we go, he's off. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a nice little track down here, which is shown on Faden's map. Yeah, so there's also a couple of tracks which have gone, and a couple which have appeared on later maps, so that might be quite interesting to try and spot where they are. I've not actually walked down here before, as with many of the the routes I go down. I've not actually travelled along, so I never quite know what I'm going to find. Ditch and bank there on that side, ditch on this side. Yeah, I really ought to get my notes out, because you probably know but now my memory is atrocious. Notes on a map. Oh, and by the way, I've also tried some different settings on this camera. I noticed on my previous one I was still getting a little bit of pixelation, especially sort of areas like that where you've got a lot of information going on, digital information, trying to be captured by the little GoPro, and apparently it's something to do with compression, and not always something you can fix, because YouTube not only do you compress it when you do your video editing and what have you, and the raw video is compressed, but YouTube also compress it, which compounds the problem. So yeah, we shall have to see what this comes out like. All I've done is change the ISO. I've reduced that a little bit from 800 to 400 to see if that will make any difference or not. Yeah, at any rate, what was I going to say? Yeah, so Wilby Warren, marked on Faden's map, let us say, but obviously it goes much further back. Yeah, so originally the term Warren probably comes from the French, old French word for game park, which is Garenne, so you can kind of tell how that would be anglicised into Warren, Garenne to Warren. Yeah, quite easily done. Yeah, so there's a warren is an area reserved for the right to hunt small game. So it'd be called the right of free warren. So that would have been granted for the landowner, but also later on came to mean an area set aside for keeping and breeding of rabbits for their meat and fur. Now, rabbits were widely introduced by the Normans after the conquest. Some evidence that the Romans may have introduced a small population of rabbits into Britain during their occupation. Yeah, so warrens were sort of documented from 12th century onwards. Yeah, so I actually put in my notes here. Warrens were normally defined by earthen banks and would have warreners to guard and manage the area. Many warrens were still under active management in the 19th century, but became disused in the 20th century. And yeah, indeed, in the 1980s I lived in a small village near Bury St Edmunds called Westow. There is actually a very good replica of Saxon settlement there, Westow Saxon village. That's well worth a visit if you're out that way. Yeah, so when I lived in Westow, there was an old guy in the village who used to see down the workmen's club, and see him down there for a drink. He was this was in the 1980s, mid 1980s probably. Yeah, he was well into his 90s, and he was actually a warrener. He did say he was a warrener during the war, but I failed to ask him which war. Whether that was the First or Second World War, I don't know. I didn't ask him, but yeah, he was actually a warrener. So yeah, quite interesting. Right, well, we've got a van coming down here. I think this might be a restricted byway then. Great big wall there. Private property. Yeah. All is looking in a bit of a state. Right, that track there, I think that might be on Faden's map. I think that might be one of them. Although that is private land, no right of way, unfortunately. We can't go down there. Very nice tree line route though. It does line up with this entrance here. Yeah, interesting. That's a lovely lane. Still got some snowdrops out. We should actually merge somewhere up here with another track coming in from another footpath. Is that a footpath? Yeah, another footpath coming in from the left. Winter paddocks and garage cottage. Looks quite a large cottage to me. Got someone coming out the meters. Hope they're friendly. Very fancy collar. Don't start following me. You might get lost. Oh, look at that. Fairy house. Seen one of them I've seen. I think which I think that was on the Kenninghall video. The US AAF Memorial one. I think that must be Mill House. Yeah. It's gotta be. Oh yeah, here we are. It's now actually called Warren House. It's been renamed Warren House. And you can, I don't know if you can just make it out on the gable there. Probably too far away to see on the video. But yeah, there are the initials RB in 1768. So that is definitely the old mill house. So at one point there was a post mill here, somewhere in these grounds. So it's Old Buckingham, Wilby Warren, that's quite a long name, post mill. That was an open trestle mill without a roundhouse, built in 1768 by Robert Barrett, whose initials are on the mill house, which they are, we've just seen them. But it was actually owned by William Holby Betch. The mill ran 2 pairs of French burr stones and a flour mill. Yeah, that was supposed to be demolished in 1855, but I have seen it still marked on later OS maps, so either the maps hadn't been updated properly or it was actually still there. Guess we'll never know. Right, I've now got to turn. Where are we? Where's my map? Yeah, turn back down this lane here. Right, so there we are. This is where we are. Now we're coming out on this little lane. So I think this behind here was also part of the Warren small area. So again, we've got another bank and ditch. Another bank, ditch bank. And a bigger bank on this side. Yes, that's quite a high bank, that is. post here. Can't quite make out what that says. CB. Yeah, that looks like a very old post. Right, let's carry on along here. Right, so we are now heading, if I can find the old Faden's map. Yeah, we're now heading right through the Warren. There's a few big trees down through there. Lovely area to walk in. Right, this looks very much like the other end of the tree-lined track, which goes up to the that house, whatever it was over there. Yeah, so that was probably once the actual access road, direct access road to that that big house. I'm trying to think, have we missed the, yeah, missed the two barrows. They were in, supposedly, in that field back there. But yeah, I think they've long been ploughed out. So it was two barrows along there. I think there's another one further along, and two more right over the other, right over that side, which will be returning on. Yeah, so they're long gone. Jackdaws up there, very noisy, starting to build the nests. Can't wish for a better sky today, really blue. I think it's supposed to be about 11 degrees. On this bend up here, we should be getting to some more of the tracks. One which is on Faden's map, and one which isn't. What is this place? New Barn Farm. Oh yes, I've seen New Barn mentioned on some of the 19th century maps I was looking at. So that must be New Barn. Yeah, looks very much like a barn. And we're still in the middle of Wilby Warren, so it's quite a large area. here we are, this footpath here. That heads down to Staxford. Now this track doesn't appear on the 1797 Fadens map, but it is on the 1821 map that I look at, so that appeared sometime between them, and I think this was to replace a track further along. And on this side you've got gas out here, high pressure gas pipe. And this track, which heads over there, goes straight across the Warren. That one is on Fadens map. Right, go a bit further. So we're now heading up towards Wilby's village. And we've got another high bank on this side. Obviously, it's probably reduced over the years because that field's been ploughed. So that side of the bank is actually higher than this side. This is probably more like the original height. You can see there's some old oaks along here. This is a very wide piece of road. Well, the road itself isn't very wide, but hedge to hedge, extremely wide. Look at this. Greg's coffee cups, sandwich thing. About 3-4 vapes. Honestly, let's keep there ain't a name on there. We can find out who it is. Absolute moron. They've obviously come along this lane and thought, I'm such an arsehole, I can't be bothered to put my stuff in a bin, I'll just chuck it out the window or empty my car. Honestly, some people, that really does, littering, it just annoys me so much, because there is absolutely no need whatsoever. Right, we're now coming up to a very interesting junction. There are only 3 different routes or 3 directions you can take from this junction now, but on Fadens map there were 5. So we've got that direction there which heads up to Wilby. That direction there I'm going to be coming back on for a reason I'll go into later. I was going to go an alternative route, but I can't, and that's the direction we've just come from. So there was also at one point a road heading across sort of in that direction towards Staxford, and that was the original route to Staxford, and that's the one that disappeared off the 1821 map and reappeared off that corner back down there. So that obviously became a better route to take And also what's missing off here, which is on Faden's map, there was another track, which is a dead end track, which heads off across there, or did head off across there, towards that clump of trees you can see. And on the it doesn't show anything at the end of that track on Faden's map, it just shows a dead end. But on the 1859 OS map, it does mark a barn there, which is called Wilby Old Barn. So you've got Wilby New Barn down that way, Wilby Old Barn here, and I think that probably is still there. I'm almost certain that is, because if you look on Google Maps on the satellite view, you can just make out a barn in that area. So it's either the original barn, or it's been rebuilt on the same plot. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Right, so we're still heading towards Wilby. Oh, across there, probably can't make it on video. I think that's Wilby Hall directly over there, which is a moated site. Won't be getting there today, but what I did want to have a look at is just a little way along here, just as you sort of get to the outskirts of Wilby. Yeah, so Wilby has quite an interesting history. This is Wilby in Norfolk. There's also a Wilby in Suffolk. Yeah, so Wilby is mentioned in the Domesday Book. Recorded population of 36.3 households. I don't know how you get 0.3 of a household, but there we are. And that was in 1086. But Wilby does go a lot further back. Aerial photos that were taken in 1946 showed many features which are remains of a substantial complex of village earthworks, including holloways, tofts, a trapezoidal moat, try saying that after a few pints, and other enclosures. Some later excavations, I think around 2005, did show some evidence of Saxon activity. However, the main occupation phase was in the medieval period. Wilby House Farm, right, yeah, this is sort of the point of what to get to. Yeah, so yeah, however, Wilby started to decline sometime after the 14th century. All Saints Church, which you can't see from here, it's just over there but you can't see it, dates from the 15th century and was seriously damaged by fire in 1633, later refurbished. And the Jacobean Wilby Hole is now a farmhouse. Also, it is believed that Boadicea, 1st century queen of the Iceni, had her palace in the vicinity. Yeah, yeah, so up this track, somewhere around there behind them trees. Unfortunately, that's private access, private road, private land, so we can't really go up there and have a look to see if anything still exists. But there were some almshouses, or rather an almshouse of 3 tenements with gardens. Was given to the parish by one of the Wilton family for the housing of poor parishioners. They dated from the 17th century, and they are marked on 1821 and 1904 OS maps, but seem to have disappeared sometime before 1938. So yeah, I suppose with the onset of I suppose the welfare state was kind of starting up by then, or there was other forms of keeping the poor fed and watered. Yeah, right, well, Wilby village is off in that direction. However, I'm not going to go any further along this track or along this road. I'm going to head back that way. What I had intended to do, see this just over the way here, this hedgerow runs along through trees, that clump of trees over there, that's a footpath. I was going to go that way and then cut along I think it's a restricted byway across the other side of this rise here, which takes me back to on the way back, so to speak. But I did notice when I was driving here, went past the entrance to the farm, because that bridleway runs through a farm. They did have a restricted access sign up due to animal disease control, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to head that way, but I can head back to that sort of three-way junction, which was five-way junction, and kick off to the right and follow that lane down there and pick up another footpath further down. Right, so now back at this famous junction and heading off to the right to pick up a footpath which will be on the left. There was originally another footpath, rather than the bridleway, there was another footpath which ran, well, it would be through this field where these pigs are, across, and would have met up with the other end that we're or the other side of this lane, the other footpath that we're going to pick up. And that seems to have disappeared, probably replaced by the bridleway. Oh, I can just see the footpath sign in the distance. It's not too far off now. Just for reference, wonder where we are. This is the moor down here. There's a road that runs along there, which I have done a video on. I've cycled down. That building there, or collection of buildings, is a meat processing place. I'm not sure it's actually still in operation. Doesn't seem to be a lot of activity around there these days. And this over here is the farm where the byway, restricted byway went through, which you can't get access along at the moment. So somewhere back there, probably that just over this rise row of trees there, is probably where that footpath comes down. Yeah, so at one point there was a footpath going the other way across this, would have been the top of this field, which makes perfect sense really, to have an old footpath on high ground. Silly to put it down in the, where it is now, down in the a valley there. I use that term loosely. We are in Norfolk. Though, as you can see, it's not entirely flat. There are hills, albeit very gentle hills. Yeah, I don't know if you can probably, if I point the camera that direction, you might just be able to pick up Snetterton. So there's some racing going on that day. Maybe it's a track day, or they do have car testing days there as well, where they test racing cars. And it's one of the few raced circuits where they can have unsilenced racing. Only on so many days of the year, but yeah. Right, probably see the sign now if I get close enough. Right, we're heading off along here. Yes, do not drop litter, morons. God. Public footpath over private land. Please take nothing but photographs. Leave nothing but footprints. Keep dogs under close control. Thank you. Well, wise words. Well, I thought that was something exciting, but it's not. It's a fire brick out of storage heater. Yeah, so this, I think this is actually the parish boundary. Wilby, I don't think, is no longer its own parish. I think it's part of Quidnam parish, and I think this side of the footpath is Banham, and you can see the really lovely spire. Well, I can see it. Don't know how it'll come out on video, of Banham Church in the distance. Yeah, I must do some videos in Banham. That's another very interesting village in this area that I live. You don't have to go far for history. It's all on your doorstep. Yeah, I will well, I have done a couple in Suffolk, a couple of videos. Yeah, I will do some more further afield, but at the moment there's just so much here to look at. Whoa, it's really beginning to warm up now. As you can see, I've had a change of hat and the woolly hat was just getting too warm. Yeah, and I'm beginning to wish I hadn't put this coat on either. I don't think that will quite go in my rucksack. We've got a bird of prey up there being harassed by either a jackdaw or a crow. If we get close enough, cool, he just had a go at him. I don't know, that probably is no way gonna come out on this camera. Sometimes where I wish I had a DSLR. Yeah, they're having a right old battle up there. If they come this way, if I get a bit closer, let's see if we can pick them up on camera. My battery is getting down. I have got a spare with me, but I don't really want to be changing that unless I have to. It's somewhere along this footpath in this field. There once was some round barrows, but I think they have all been ploughed out. I mean, this has been heavily cultivated. Obviously, when it was still the Warren, they would have been easily visible. Yeah, so there's been one somewhere around here, one a little bit further on. But I think we'd be very lucky to see any sign. I have just been looking along this field, looking for flints, worked flint, but and the ever hopeful thing of finding a flint arrowhead. Wishful thinking, but you never know. Oh, very wet here. Field pond, maybe. This is possibly where one of the barrows was. Don't know how well it came out on camera, but you can just about make out a very gentle rise and fall in this field here, about I don't know, 30 yards out maybe. If I drop down, you might be able to see it against the skyline. Maybe, or maybe not. Yeah, that's about the only thing I've seen which could, and it is about in the right place, but the only thing I've seen which could actually be one of the barrows. Let's say years of ploughing would have reduced that in height quite a lot. Yeah. Right, let's just get this gap in the hedge and probably get a better view of Banham Church straight over there. There should be another footpath crossing here soon, which goes down to the crossroads, which I can't for the life of me think of what it's called now, but it does have a name. I will put it on the video on the screen if I can find what it was called, or what it is called. And it's just over there. That group of, you can probably make out the house easier in beige sort of colour, and then there's a collection of various barns and buildings. That's right on the crossroads. And just opposite that there's a very nice cottage which is being restored. That has stood empty for years, and I think it's maybe a couple of years ago somebody obviously bought it and decided to renovate it, and they're making a very nice job of it too. Right, I think I'm just coming up to where that other footpath meets. I think it might be this hedge line here, the right general area. That's the crossroads just down there. I think I can see the sign. It is an absolutely glorious day. Right, here we are. And we've got footpaths going all directions here. So that one goes directly down to the corner of the junction. But we're going to carry on along here. There should be another one that kicks off this way, kicks off to the left. Assuming it is this side of the hedge. Oh, it's a very old sign. Look at that poor old thing. It's all got knocked over. Look at that. Well, it goes off in that direction. I'm not sure if it's this side or that side of that hedge, but don't need to worry about that because going this way. Yeah, I'll probably need to have a zoom in on the Norfolk County Council website and see if you can make out which side of that hedge that goes. Right, so we should go down here, kick off to the left, then to the right, and it should take us onto the road. There's also supposed to be, or was at some point, another barrow over the back of this field, which again has most likely been completely ploughed out. There's some really interesting stuff going on in here, in this bit of woodland. All sorts of ditches and lumps and bumps. Might be worth a look on LiDAR if I can get on there. I couldn't get on there earlier. For some reason the server was down. I was actually going to look at some tithe maps, or look for some tithe maps. Yeah, look at that on there. Great big bank and ditch. Yeah. What's going on there? It's one of those places you just love to get into and explore. But you can't. It's private. Well, I suppose you could try and find out who owns it and get permission. Well, LiDAR will probably tell you more than give you more information. Yeah, and you want to get in there and sort of this time of year as well, when it's all the undergrowth is down, you can actually see what's what. Right, so this footpath follows around here up to that corner, then turns right. And I did have to put my other battery in. I don't think that was quite fully charged when I came out, because I was messing around the other day with the settings. Wouldn't that be a lovely place to live? Just think how many sheds I could get on that piece of land. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, have a look at my other channel, In the Shed. In the corner. So this should take us onto the lane. Here we are. Right, so my van is parked just up there around that bend. Back down that way. Just behind here is the pub. Yeah, like I say, it's now called the Smokehouse. It was for these cars to go past. Can you hear what I'm saying? Oh my god, this is a busy bit of road. I've got to walk up here. Right, yeah, like I was saying, the pub, which is now called the Smokehouse, previous to that was called the Garden House, and for a short while, I think either in the 1980s or 1990s, it was called the Cider House. Dates back to 17th century and was supposedly visited by King Charles II after his restoration to the throne 1660. So yeah, for a little backwater, quite a busy place. Let's get this side. Must be bin day. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and all that old malarkey. Subscription numbers are still quite low, and it does help promote the videos. The more subscribers you got, the more views you tend to get, the more you get promoted by YouTube, which you know, that's half the point of making these videos, isn't it? To you know, want people to watch them, hopefully find something of interest, maybe take on the challenge of one of the routes. Although I don't do really long walks, because I end up videoing too much, and then when you do that, of course you have to edit it. edit it. And problem with this this new GoPro camera is it creates huge files, and because my video editing software doesn't support what is it called, HVEC, is it? Yeah, it doesn't support that high definition format. I have to then sort of convert them first before I even put them into my video editing software. There's a big hole there. Yeah. Looks like we've got company. Another van there. Right, well, I think, let's see, we're nearly back. So that'll be it for today, for this video. Should be plenty there. I'll probably have to trim bits out as I normally do to make it into a decent length, short enough length. Yeah, so, well, thanks for watching.